All right, welcome to another SALIDO demo. Today we are going to be going over SALIDO online ordering. Specifically, we want to walk through all the different settings that you can set up for SALIDO online ordering. All right, so we are on the SALIDO page, as you can see, and we're on the solo category under the settings. If you log into SALIDO and you cannot see these settings, you may need to turn on the permission if you are the decision maker for the restaurant. If you are a floor manager, there's a chance you do not have that permission turned on. You'll need to request that from your restaurant decision maker, whoever that might be. All right, so let's assume you now have those settings turned on and you want to update your configuration for SALIDO online ordering. We're going to go through each category. The very first category you see here, merchant attributes, does have a menu link to your guest-facing menu, the page that they're going to be ordering from. And after that, where you see there are your restaurant name, your restaurant phone number, and your restaurant address. All this we pulled through from the initial setup, so these should come in automatically. You should not need to make any changes here. You also can choose your logo. You can see that is on the guest-facing page right here. So that's where you choose that. And then these are kind of like FYI settings. So the revenue center has been defined by a implementations manager to be solo. If you want to change that, just reach out and let us know, and we will change that for you. The default order type is online ordering. For these two, you might use in-room dining, or you might have a pay at table situation. So the revenue center may be different and the order type may be different based off of how you're planning on using SALIDO online ordering, whether it's for true online ordering, in-room dining, pay order at table, or anything like that. The discount rule will almost always be solo. You should never need to change that. You define your own discounts here in this section under discount rules, and we'll talk about that. The next category is the features. And so you can see the features here. And on the right, there's an edit button. And when you click that, it allows you to toggle. And you can make changes. All of these are just on, off, and they're very easy to understand as well. The first one is, do you want to turn on online ordering, takeout orders? Yes or no. Do you want to turn on delivery orders? Yes or no. Do you want to turn on in-house at the table orders or tab-based orders? So not requiring a table, just a tab. So if you want that on or off, you turn that on. And then ASAP is a definition for when you want to pick up orders as a guest. So if you remember, you go to the page, you pick up, you choose select pickup time. ASAP is an option when this is toggled on, which means the guest is saying, I don't care about how long it takes to prepare. I just want to pick it up as soon as it's ready. And so they're not necessarily looking for a specific window. Maybe they're not looking to order in advance. They just want to set their order and then come pick it up. They can choose ASAP. If you do not want them to do that, you just simply turn this off, hit save, wait for the changes to go through, and then when you come back to this page and refresh, you can see ASAP has been taken off. And I definitely recommend when you're making changes to your settings to have this page open. And when you save changes in the bottom here, when you hit update, just coming over to this page, refreshing, and taking a look at what you've changed. So I'm going to turn this back on, hit update, come back to this page. I'm going to refresh again. Select pickup time, and you can see ASAP is now available again. The last two are edit scheduled orders and cancel scheduled orders. So these allow a guest to update their order that they've sent through to the restaurant already, or to cancel them themselves. So, like, let's say they get a alert that it's going to be a long time, or maybe the restaurant calls them and says, "Hey, you placed this order, but we don't have this menu item." They can actually cancel this order with it turned on. If you want to avoid any guests from doing anything suspicious, you may want to turn it off. Totally up to the merchant to decide. So that is features. You can see there's two other features that are listed here. Apple Pay and EPX. EPX is your native payment processor. That is always going to be on, but you may want to turn on or off the ability for the guest to use Apple Pay. More than likely, you want it on. This setting is controlled by SALIDO. So if you want to request this setting to be turned on or off, please reach out to your account manager so that we can do that for you. On to the next category, which is scheduling. And so again, we'll go to the edit button in the bottom right. And the first thing you can do for schedule is change. Do you want guests to be able to order on the current day only, the current day and next day, or up to 2 subsequent days from the current business day? And so in these two scenarios, next day and 2 subsequent days, a guest could schedule 1 or 2 days in advance for their food. The downside for that for a merchant is sometimes when guests are allowed to schedule like that, they can overload the restaurant's capacity. Most of the time, guests are not ordering in that fashion, and we see that most restaurants will have it set to current day only, and that's usually a best practice. But we do support scheduling orders for guests if you like. You just need to be careful about setting your capacity limits as a result. And the next two sections are for just that. Preparation time is how long does it take to prepare the average order? Is it 15 minutes? Is it 30 minutes? Think about if your restaurant serves steak for that matter. If you serve like a filet well done, that's going to be like a 45-minute pickup time. You may not want to have a prep time set to 30 minutes in case you have an order of filet. On the contrast, though, let's say you're a taco restaurant or a quick service restaurant that serves food very quickly, has a really quick pickup time. Maybe you only want like 15 minutes, and so you can actually drop that down to 15 minutes, or go up higher if you need to. 30 minutes is the average. I think most restaurants leave this alone here, but it is at your discretion to make those changes. The next is capacity, and you can see this restaurant has set their capacity to the max. Um, Unlikely that you're going to want to do that unless you're a very large restaurant group, and so you need to decide how many orders at any given time can you accept in addition to any in-house orders that you might be servicing. So remember, this is only for your online ordering capacity, and you need to consider how the orders you allow for online ordering will impact your um, dine-in customer orders. Just be mindful of that. You may want to err on the side of safety at first, and as you see your employee comfort level rise, you can increase your capacity. Definitely good to start low and go high versus the other way around. The other section is very straightforward. It's setting your actual calendar schedule for your online ordering. So again, this is for your online ordering and not for your actual restaurant business hours. So, your business hours might be 9 a.m. to 12 a.m., but you don't want to necessarily have online ordering for that entire period. So, you want to give your employees time to get into work, get set up, get their, the prep all done. You might want to set your deliver online ordering schedule to start at 11 a.m. Give them a couple hours to get set up. And then, and same thing at the end of the night, you may want to support online orders for less time than your kitchen is open for, because you do not want your employees waiting around at 2 o'clock in the morning for people to pick up the food. So something else to keep in mind, not a great idea to make it one-to-one with your business hours. It's better to have a more concise online ordering schedule, but that is up to you to decide. You also can choose which days are available for online ordering. So you can see in this restaurant's example here, Sunday does not have online ordering. So you cannot order with this restaurant on Sunday. Today is Friday. So if I was trying to look at this menu on a Sunday, I would see no pickup times available to me. So just real quick, for evidence of that, I'm going to delete Friday's schedule. It's giving me a warning to say that there may already be scheduled orders. In this case, it's a testing environment. It doesn't matter. But for you, it may not. And now when I try to do pickup time, it says closed. So I can't place my orders. And I was going to put this back. There we go. And I'm going to update that. And now my pickup times are back. All right, so the next section is what we call the client configuration. And essentially, this is a configuration for your guests. So we're going to hit edit again. And each of these sections are accomplishing the same goals, but for different types of order types. At first, here is the tip suggestions that you can offer your guests, configurable by you. You can change it to whatever number you'd like for the tip percentages. And then the first is online ordering pickup orders. So this is probably going to be the most common. You can turn on or off order level notes. So order level notes are notes that apply to the entire check. So when you complete your order and go to checkout, as soon as you can turn these order level notes off, or you can also turn off these item level notes that appear at the bottom of the item. So, for example, if you are a restaurant that charges for your sauces, you may want to turn off the item level notes, because sometimes guests will use the notes field to try to get around paying for those sauces. So something to keep in mind when you're making decisions about your online ordering notes, whether you want them on or off based off of things like that. You also can choose to turn on or off showing the merchant phone number. So your phone number would appear right here. If you turn it off, it would be taken away. For the order level notes, you can change the label name. We currently have it labeled as additional instructions, but you might want to call it something else, just like, maybe just call it order notes or extra notes or things like that. You can change that here, and it will update on this page when you go to checkout. Instead of additional instructions, it'll say whatever you input. And this example here, the EG extra napkins, no utensils, can be defined by you as well. So You can change that placeholder right here. And then the same thing will apply for in-house and delivery. I won't go through it again. They're exactly the same stance, but I will say for show merchant phone for in-house, that might be a time where you turn that off, right? Because maybe it's in-room dining, maybe it's a order at table scenario. They don't necessarily need the phone number at that point because they're going to have employees that they can talk to. So if that's the case, you can turn it off and it will no longer show for them. And then, of course, once you're done, you can hit update. All right, the last section under settings is called the QR code generator for in-house ordering. So again, this is for in-room dining. This is for order at table, that type of scenario. And you can generate them for single tables, or you can do them for an entire revenue center at once. And you can see I can make a label for each QR code, and I can make it a text label. So like this is for a revenue center. I could say, dining room, and then the text of dining room will actually appear on that QR code. Or I could put like a revenue center picture, or maybe it's a patio picture, or maybe it's just the restaurant logo. I can put that there, and I can do that with the image. And the other thing is for text, I can change the font color to any color I'd like. And you can choose where it's going to print the table number. So you can choose none at the top or at the bottom. So I downloaded a few of these already to show. And we'll take a look at that right now. Let me just switch my screen. So I generated a set of QR codes for um, a revenue center, and this revenue center had 5 tables. So you can see I have 5 QR codes. I could print these out and have them sitting on each table, so that way the guests can order from them. I put a picture of a BLT in the middle here, just as an example of what could go in here. Obviously, you're probably more likely to put a logo than a BLT. And you can see at the bottom here is the table number. So that's table 1. This is table 2. This is table 3, table 4, and table 5. There we go. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like to scan that QR code as well. So I'm just going to change screens again. And I'm using an iPad, but you can use your phone to scan your QR code. There we go. So I open up the QR code. You can now see the same menu page that we were editing is now available for me to order from, just like the rest of the guest experience. And we're going to go back to the configuration. All right. So that was the settings page. Those are all the major settings you can change. There's a few that we do for you. So if you ever need to change those, like I said, just reach out to your account manager and they can make that happen for you. The next section is called menu rules. And the first section is where you can actually upload your menu item images. You can see I've uploaded a few already. This is for the arugula salad, and it has its accompanying menu description. You can also see that the rest of the menu is available to me here to edit. And I've actually chosen not to allow those menu items to be here because I don't want them to be, right? And we do that using a few different setups: the revenue center, the price rule that you're defining, and then also the order type. And by making those tweaks, I can choose exactly which menu items are showing for what order type. Obviously, some of these do not make sense to have on my online ordering menu, like course lines and wines. So those are turned off. If you need any help doing that configuration, again, reach out to your account manager. Always happy to walk you through that. So the next category is called Manage Menu Item Categories. And what this allows you to do is to sort your menu item categories that are visible on the online ordering page for the guest. So you can see here, there's a sorted list on the right. It's an appetizer, entree, and dessert. These buttons here, the single arrow moves a single item. So appetizer, I can move that back. Or the double arrows will move everything. So if I want to move those all back, I can. And move these back. If I need to change the order of something, I can choose that item that I want to change and move it up or down. And when I hit save, it'll apply here. Now, none of my menu items on my demo here today are in those menu item categories, so it won't show. But if I had defined them as such, appetizer, entree, and dessert would show as headers here. Instead of food, it would say appetizer. Then I have another category called entree, and then another category called dessert. And all associated menu items would sort underneath of those categories, like a traditional menu. So that's what this does. Manage modifier groups is a different set of lists. So in this list, it's included or excluded modifier groups. So for example, if I wanted to take this QA group out of the list, I can click on it, hit the arrow, and hit save. And now when I go to a menu item and I click it, oops, I need to refresh. When I click the menu item and go into the selections for the modifiers, the QA group modifier group is now gone. If I want to add it back, I go back to manage modifier groups. I move it back into the included list. I hit save. And then when I go back to the page and refresh, and I go to add, you can see it is back. So that is what the manage modifier group section does. And then the same applies for manage modifiers. So I have included and excluded. Some of these modifiers are not useful, so I have excluded them. But if I wanted to get them back, I just need to click the arrow and I could put them back. So that's what that does. The next category is discount rules. So these are the list of rules for discounts or coupons that you can make available to your guests. And you can choose how long they're available for, and as well as when to start. All right, so let's go ahead and open up one. Let's actually add a new rule. And the discount rules, you have a name for it. This is an internal name, so you can see as it appears in reporting. So you want to be, whatever the most useful naming convention is for reporting, that's what you want to use there. And so you could say, they have an example here. It says regular discount, something like that. You may not necessarily want like shorthand, like BOGO, buy one, get one. Maybe you do. It all depends on what you like for your reporting. But you may not want to necessarily use shorthand for that name. It's not guest facing, so you don't have to worry about that. The next is your discount type. Do you want it to apply as a dollar amount or a percentage? And do you want it to be at the check level or the item level? When you choose item, you can see a list of items will appear, and you can filter them just by clicking. So, a wine you may not want to, any alcohol you may not want to apply, so you can filter them out. And then obviously at the check level, it'll apply to the entire check. Stackable means that they can use multiple discounts with this turned on. If you turn this off, if they use this discount, they will not be able to use any additional discounts alongside of it. If both discounts are stackable, then you can use them. And of course, the next one is, do you want to make this discount active or inactive? The discount code is the name that you may want to make guest facing. So again, you might do buy one, get one, discount 20 is an example here. Or maybe it's specific to a menu item like Sando 5, which is what they have listed here. So that's what that discount code is for. Here you can see this is for dollar value. If I change it here, it'll be percentage value. And then this is a guest-facing message that allows them to understand what the discount is that they've applied. So for time options, you can choose what time of day that it applies. So, think for example, like maybe you have like a happy hour online ordering, or, let's say non-peak hours, you might run a special in order to incentivize people ordering with you. You also can do a weekly. So like if you only wanted to run from a certain date to a certain date, you can do that as well. So you can say, I want this to run from Monday, August 14th, but then I do not want it to continue past the week of the 18th. So after the week of the 18th, this promotion will end. If they try to order on, August 21st, they would not be able to use this discount anymore. It automatically would shut off. You also can say, like, let's say it's a happy hour discount. You can say, I want this available every day except Fridays or except Saturdays or, something like that. So you could say Sunday through Thursday is fine. Fridays and Saturdays, I do not want this discount available. So you can limit when during the week they can actually utilize this discount. So that's another way you can control how people are ordering and using discounts in your restaurant. And the last category under Solo is the orders section. And this allows you to review orders that have come in. You can see their status, you can see the guest name, you can see their phone number. And so if you want to call them, you can. And you can also see, like, are they doing pickup? Are they doing delivery? Are they in-house? Are they in-room dining? You can see that there. And then you also can see, this is a completed order. So you can see that the notification status is sent. So the guest got a notification that their order was ready to be picked up. So that's what that means. Same thing would apply for delivery if you were leveraging delivery. And then action is what action is needed. Some of the statuses are, so you have completed, which is the order was completed already. Confirmed means that someone has accepted the order from your restaurant, whether it be an automatic accepted order or someone is actually physically choosing accept. That's what the confirmed status means. Placed means that the guest has sent an order in that has not yet been approved. And the reason why you might see a placed status is if your online ordering KDS is offline or backgrounded. And so it won't listen for orders in those two scenarios. And that place status will not turn to confirmed until it's either automatically accepted um, or when a user actually comes in and clicks accept. So depending on how you've set that up will determine when it moves from placed to confirmed. And if you see a bunch of orders set as placed when you're looking at your solo orders, that means you need to check your online ordering KDS and make sure it's up and running. A scheduled status means, of course, that it's scheduled for some time in the future, outside of the current prep window that you're looking at the orders from. Canceled means that either yourself or the guest has canceled their order, and failed is some type of error status. So, for example, if you wait, I think it's 10 minutes. If the order is placed in the status for 10 minutes under placed, it will fail if you don't confirm it in those 10 minutes. So either a user accepts it or it is automatically accepted in 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, it will fail, and then it'll automatically refund the guest. So that's something to keep in mind as well. If you sealed a failed status, the guest was refunded. You can review orders from calendar dates here. So like if you want to like see the entire month of orders, you can do that. And you can see whether it was scheduled or created, and then do a query. You also could do that from the reporting platform as well. So if you want to look at your solo reports and see what your sales are, you can do that from there as well. So you don't necessarily have to do it all from here. This is more of like, usually you're checking in the same business day, trying to see like, okay, how many scheduled orders do I have or something like that. So this is the majority of the solo settings. Like I said, there are a few settings that we do for you, like turning on Apple Pay, and a few other ones for the client configuration. And other than that, everything is in your hands. And if you need any help with that, please do not hesitate to reach out to your account manager or SALIDO Support. And don't forget, you also have the resource center available as well. So you can come in here and search for Solo and find some helpful articles about that. So you can see like turn Solo on and off. You can see a general overview, how to manage your menu, and anything else you might need for Solo. You also can see some new features like signature receipts and how those work in Solo as well. And there's also a demo video for that that explains that as well if you'd like to see that. Yeah, good luck with SALIDO Online Ordering. If you have any feature requests or anything like that, please also let us know.